Hello and welcome back to Lorbeck. I'm your host Harry, and today I'm going to be driving my very own 2019 BMW M4 competition. Like butter, baby! It really doesn't get old. It's so much fun. So today we're out in the Victorian high country, and I'm super excited to show you guys just why I love this car so much. Now, a couple of things that drew me to this particular model was the individual paintwork on the car. It's called Tanzanite Blue, and it's a very deep, dark blue metallic that really pops in the sunlight, and it's a super rare color to see on the M4, and that is also paired with a dark chocolate brown interior, which I think is just super special, and I think it really differentiates this car from a lot of other M cars that are on the road, and it's why I love it so much. Now, a couple of things that I've done to the car to really make it my own and to make it really stand out are obviously these yellow lights. You can't really miss them, and they're inspired by a lot of European racing and Le Mans, so that's kind of the background behind those. The car's got a full Maxton body kit, front skirt, side skirts and rear diffuser. The car's been lowered on I-back lowering springs, which really gives the car like a much better stance and really helps to fill out those wheel wells. If we come around to the back, we've also got the GTS inspired rear taillights along with a CS carbon fiber rear spoiler. And to top it off, obviously, we're gonna have some big ass exhaust tips. If we pop the bonnet real quick, let's just have a look at this 3-litre inline 6 and talk a little bit about the performance. So obviously this is not a stock engine. We have upgraded spark plugs, an upgraded heat exchanger on the front and intakes, and of course we have got downpipes on the car. All of these things combined help this car to now make 620 horsepower and close to 900 Newton meters of torque, which for a rear-wheel drive car is a little bit bonkers, and with these greasy roads we'll see how well we get traction with this. All right, welcome to the interior of my M4. Couple of things to note in here. I've added some Alcantara goodies like this CS steering wheel. A lot of people don't like this wheel because they say it's a little bit too chunky, but I've got big hands, so I don't know about you, but I like it a little bit girthy. Alcantara on the side armrest here, and a couple of other carbon fiber goodies along with the red start button and the M1 and M2 buttons, which allow you to pre-program all the modes that you want. So M2 for me is Sport Plus, Sport on the suspension, Sport on the handling. Sport Plus handling is a little bit too heavy. It's like wrestling with a bloody bear. So with that, let's get out on the road and I'll let you hear what this thing sounds like. Okay, so one thing to note when first getting behind the wheel of one of these F82 M4s is they have this very snappy dual clutch DCT gearbox, and it has quite a steep learning curve because if you're not patient on the throttle, your foot can almost like bounce on the throttle. It's that sensitive. And then you get obviously the overrun and burbles, which just sound amazing. So yeah, steady foot, and you just gotta feed it in, especially today. It's a little bit greasy out. I'm gonna be leaving the traction in its MDM mode, which will allow for a little bit of slip, but won't cut the power completely. As you can see, fourth to second, it's almost instant. And going up through the gears, 600 horsepower, I mean, it's gonna be bloody quick. We'll just put the windows up now that we're picking up some speed. And my God, these things are just so racy, especially with the I-back springs in this car. It really just helps the front end bite into the corner and then allows you to really place that rear end on exit. A real soft spot for me on the car are definitely the brakes. A lot of people say the discs are quite good because they are a dual piece rotor, but I think that the pads that BMW go with, the compound is very soft and they generate a lot of heat. So what that means is they're gonna fade very, very quickly, and if you don't let them cool down, you can warp your discs. which I have done multiple times across a few M cars when taking it out to the track. One good way to mitigate this is to replace the pads with something a little bit more aggressive, and to also go for a brake fluid that's a little bit more resistant to higher temperatures. The power in this thing is just plain addictive. I just can't believe that a couple $1,000s in modifications to the car and you're getting an extra 150 horsepower over what you get from the factory. For the money out of everything I've driven, you know, this is definitely got to be one of my favorite performing cars. With a little bit more money, obviously the G80 M3s are just incredible cars. And Lorbeck up in Sydney actually have a CS model in the X-Drive in a lime green, which is one of my dream cars. I mean, obviously with a bit more money, that would be the car I would go for. But in saying that, the F82 is a lot lighter. So when you're on tighter roads, the feel that you're going to get through this car is a little bit more racy, and it's going to make you work a lot harder for the performance. If you are planning on buying one of these, I would highly recommend at least doing some exhaust modifications, because they are very quiet from stock. A downpipe or mid-pipe on this car will really just open it up, and with the valved muffler, it really isn't that intrusive at all, especially in the higher gears. Another thing to note is obviously traction in these. They are very bitey and snappy cars. Now, if it's your first time jumping into a sports car or something of this nature, it will take you a little bit to get used to. And that's because the limited slip differential in these will like to snap out very, very quickly. Now, if you're used to it, it is actually very controllable, because you're going to know when it's going to want to slide, and it's very easy to bring back in line just with a bit of reduction on the throttle. Now, what that does mean is that you are going to chew through a heap of rear tires, so keep that in mind as well. All right, so I'm in third gear, 1, 2 on the paddle, straight into first gear. We'll drop the windows and I'll let you hear just how good these things sound. It really doesn't get old. It's so much fun. And you can either row through the gears on the paddles or down on the gear selector as well, whatever suits your taste. Oh, even with the roads being this greasy, it's still very predictable to drive this car quickly, and there's never a dull moment with an M car. I mean, they just do such a good job at making these cars feel alive and satisfying to drive. The clear step up from an M car is, in my opinion, probably a Porsche, because both the two cars are the most driver-centric cars. And, you know, obviously GT3 for me would be the dream, but for how much these things cost, you're really not going to get a better performing car for Australian roads as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me walking you through my car. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a like and a comment. I do read all your comments on both YouTube and Instagram, so please, if you enjoyed the video, let me know what you thought and I'll try my best to get back to you. And with that, I will see you in the next video.